Big dot in the building, real quick. It was a young man. I ain't gonna even say young. He was that young, but he's been going on a bunch of rants on TikTok. He's been going on a bunch of rants on TikTok. I'm gonna pull up some of his rants tomorrow. At least one of them. I'm gonna break it down. But yeah, it's funny to watch all of the modern day slaves argue about politics, argue about material things, argue about rent and home ownership, cars, businesses or lack thereof, arguing about holidays, arguing about Democrats and Republicans, arguing about what Donald Trump is doing, the government shutdown, Trump cutting off the food stamps, shutting down the government while they still taking taxes out of your check. Working every day and being taxed on all of the money that you spend, even being taxed on the money that you work for. Throwing away $69 million to NASA every goddamn day while people are starving. Minimum wage going up, but so is the price of living. So back in the days, we had more money when minimum wage was $2 an hour. A lot of y'all don't realize that. The higher the minimum, I said this 8 years ago, the higher the minimum wage go, the broker we become. It's all an illusion. They raised the minimum wage. I don't even think, you know what's crazy? By the time 2060 hit, minimum wage is probably going to be about maybe $20 an hour. But the price of living would be so high. The price of living will be so high, people are going to even be more poor than they are now, bro. I'm trying to tell you how this shit working. They playing a game. They playing a game with us, bro. Nobody really sits back and thinks about it. Nobody really sits back and breaks it down or really thinks about it, right? You work 8 hours a day. So a lot of times, some of us work 10 or 12 hours a day, right? You work, let's just say 8. Let's just go with the 40 hours a week. Let's just start there. So you work 8 hours a day. You sleep 8 hours a day, if you're lucky. Yeah, that's what I've been saying for years. Oh, that's Boss Blake in the building. What's up, boss? I've been saying it for years that when the minimum wage goes up, the cost of living goes up. But the cost of living goes up higher than the minimum wage. That's the funny part about it. So every time they raise the minimum wage, the cost of living goes up even higher, though. So we become just a little bit more poor every time the minimum wage goes up. But on the surface, it looks like, oh, we're progressing. We're making more money now. Minimum wage was $7 last year. Now it's $8. Yeah, we're doing great. No. So let's break it down. You go to work 8 hours a day, right? You're supposed to sleep 8 hours a day. It's only 24 hours in a day. And if y'all haven't noticed, time has been moving faster. That's a whole other conversation we can have. Hours don't seem to be as long as they used to be. Hours seem to feel like 30 minutes now. I swear it doesn't seem like we have 24 hours in a day. It seems like these days are 12 hours now. Okay, so the majority of us are paying mortgage, rent, or whatever. A lot of us have car notes, full coverage insurance. Let's just get to it. So the jobs don't pay you enough to survive. They pay you enough to keep coming back to work. They pay you enough to just barely get you through. Because if they gave you enough money, they really paid you for what you were worth, you would save up and move on. And if they didn't pay you enough to basically barely cover your bills, then you would quit. So they pay you just enough to keep you coming to work every day. But let's get down into the hours. You work 8 hours, you sleep 8 hours, you got 8 hours left to do what? Wash your ass, make something to eat, take a bath, spend some time with your children, read a book, watch a TV show. I'm trying to show y'all how ridiculous the system of modern day slavery is and how we've been duped and fooled into thinking this is a normal way of living. Now, you do this about 5 days out the week. Some people work 6 days out the week. I know some jobs who work 7 days a week and they get a day off every 6 months or some shit like that. Is fucking crazy, right? I know motherfuckers that work 10-hour shifts every day, 7 days a week. They get paid like $30-something an hour, but still, is it really worth it? Now, let's break this down for a minute. You spend 8 hours at your job, right? You spend 8 hours sleep in dream world. That means you got 8 hours left in your day. And then it's a lot of shit that got to be done. You got to clean your house. You got to clean your room. You got to clean your ass. You got to cook for your family. You got to cook for the kids. Try to get a little entertainment, a little bit of relaxation. Maybe get some fucking done. You don't have enough time. It's go, 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 go. Spin, 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 right? You give your money right back to the people who paid you. You know, it's crazy, especially, think about it, when you look at Walmart employees, I bet you they can peep this better than anybody. They work at Walmart, all right? When they get their check, they spend the majority of that motherfucking check on groceries or whatever the fuck right back at Walmart, giving the money right back to the company that paid them, right? So now they got us in a perpetual loop where we do the same thing every day. And then I'm going to tell you what the freedom is that they're not cracking the actual whip against your back, but they do it verbally. They belittle you. Sometimes, sometimes you might have a great work environment. You might have a good boss, but for the most part, it's stressful. Your boss, every time you have a boss or the district manager come in, it's stressful. You think about it, you're stressed out. And it's weird about it. How they feed it to you is making you feel like you need them, but in actuality, they need us. We are the ones that make them rich. We are the ones that really put in the work that nobody's going to do to fuel their companies and fuel their success. So it's actually backwards. They need us to work for them so that they can get rich and sit on their ass, right? But they got us believing that we need them, and then we're proud to do it. Think about it. Do y'all know the history of Black Friday? The history of Black Friday is when they were selling slaves 50% off, right? 50% off. But you got to think about it. How crazy it was back when slavery wasn't refined like it is now. They actually just greased us up to show our muscles off and, you know what I'm saying, show our physique and all this and that and how good we going to work for the other people. They sell us, right? Now they brainwashed us so good, we take ourselves to the slave auction. We grease our own bodies up and show our physique. We put on our best duds and we go ask to be a slave for the most mediocre corporations, whether it be a good job or a bad job. We go sit down, we grease ourselves up, which would be the suit. We go put the suit on and then we go sit down and we ask to be a slave. We tell them why we want to be a slave. We try to prove to them that we could be a better slave than the other slaves. So they need to hire us. You guys need me. I was a great slave at the last job. Here you bring up your slave facts. You know that's your resume, the slave facts. Says it's no solution if you don't have power. Yeah, so but guess what? Oh yeah, the white people in slavery too. That's the whole point. Bro, trust me, the white folks are in slavery too. Now they got little quirks and little things that they've always given the poor whites a little leeway here, a little leeway there. You know what I'm saying? They can do a little bit more on you than the job. They can get promoted faster than you and all this and that. That keeps them with a pacifier in their mouth, still knowing that their white skin can give them privilege inside of a system of slavery. It's no different than the overseers back in the day. Remember they had the overseers? If the overseers were really paying attention, they still out there in the goddamn sun with the motherfucking slaves, even though they out there whooping them. They still out there get hot in the motherfucker. They still out there doing a dirty ass job. They still part of the slavery, right? So yeah, they always giving the white people a little leeway. You know, if you think about it, I remember when I was young, when you would go to go apply for a job at a restaurant, you get a job at the restaurant. You would have a motherfucker teenager as your fucking boss, nigga. They would always promote the white boys. Every now and then they'll promote a nigga, and the nigga will start thinking he the shit. You know, y'all know that. Y'all seen that too. But out of nowhere, they'll promote a little young ass white person to be your boss. They'll bring a young white person in for you to train to be your boss. I've been talking about this shit for years. So, but those white people are just as much as slaves as we are. They just get treated a little bit better. That's all. They get a little more privilege, a little more privilege. That's it. But the system is still intact, right? So now every 5 or 10 years we'll have some radical rebel rouser basically coming out telling everybody, which would probably work, but you're never going to get everybody to get on board. This is why I've given up on the situation, and I talk about it, but I don't have any hopes for the situation. Every now and then you'll have a radical that'll pop out, a black radical. He'll pop out and he'll say, "Hey, we all should just not go to work tomorrow." And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and see what they do. We should all take our children out of school. But this is the problem. This is why we have a big ass, crazy ass diaspora war going on TikTok right now, because black people are so divided in their ideologies and beliefs about the system of white supremacy, or the non-existence of white supremacy. So there you go right there, right? Which, think about it. We got to try to get on board with black people just to even agree that there is a system of white supremacy and that we are being, relegated to a lot of bullshit. But we can't even get that off the ground. So if we can't get that off the ground, we're most definitely not going to get to the topic of why black people treat each other so bad, why black people have been tricked and duped into a culture of killing each other and thinking it's cool, which was what Black Sector Mafia music was all about. Which I just did a recording. I'll be releasing after I finish editing, like bringing out a bunch of new music, like artists like Nicholas Lamar. Artists. I got a bunch of artists that I'm bringing out. I call it blowing up the spot before they get hot. So basically, I'm going to be doing music reviews of all of the new artists that haven't broke out yet. Artists like Zeddy Will, artists like Nicholas Lamar, artists like Janaya, artists like JP out of Atlanta. These are people y'all never heard of. Some of y'all might have heard a couple of them, but I'm breaking all of those new artists. I put a lot of work in the shit I do. But I just got done recording. This shit took me about an hour and a half. It's going to probably take me about 2 or 3 hours to edit it. But some of those videos will be out tomorrow. But yeah, like Black Sector Mafia, we started a whole new genre of music. Well, we wasn't rapping about drill rap. It was like intellectually gangster ass rap. You know what I'm saying? And I see that we sparked something, because all of the new artists that I'm covering, they're coming out with a different vibe. The rappers and everything, it's like people are tired of drill rap. People are tired of ignorance. People are waking up, but we need more people to wake up for this thing to actually work. Because I said a concept a long time ago, we need to change what is cool. That's the problem. It's cool to kill a nigga over nothing. It's cool to have bodies on your record and then people giving you props for how many bodies you got. You got niggas been making songs about killing their girlfriend. Yeah, if you go listen to some of these new rappers, they make songs about killing their fucking girlfriends. And if you notice, a lot of these rappers have killed their fucking girlfriends. One Tank Timmy Dope. I don't know who that is. But yeah, I been running across a bunch of Jezariah. So it's a bunch of artists on that's trying to break out on TikTok. And I want to be bringing some of that music to y'all and try to put it all in one place so people can actually like come to my channel and you'll find all of the new artists. I started it doing these videos a couple of months ago. I did one about the artist named Jadon. This is artist named Jadon. He sounds just like Chris Brown. He do a lot of dancing and shit, but I did a couple of reviews on his shit, and yeah, but I'm reviewing all the new artists. Okay, that's the dude play this right there. Let me check it out. All right, I clicked the link right quick, but I know I can't really go visit it right now because it'll probably turn the show off. Boss said I gave up on that shit a long time ago. You got to sell yourself to be a slave. I remember I talked about that. I talked about how much does it cost to rent a human for a day? How much does it cost to rent a human for a week? And that question can be easily answered. All you have to do is ask a person how much do they make a week. All you have to do is ask a person how much they make a day. I'm telling you, you know, it costs a little bit more than renting a car, bro. Like, for real. To rent a human every day for the majority of their life, 40 years of their life, it only costs but between $100 and $200 a day to rent a human for your business. And if you think about it like that, then it kind of be like, ooh, these motherfuckers is basically renting me for 8 hours a fucking day, where they have me doing what they want me to do to enhance and make money for them all day long, every day. And this is my life. We got to wake up. They've been tricking us for so many years, but you got to think about it. Being born into a system that was already put in place and growing up and learning to live within that system. And first of all, your first 7 years being just you basically downloading everything in your surroundings, trying to learn how to survive. So yeah, we fucked, bro. So we fucked, bro. We been fucked. But I got a lot of more teachings coming. I've been hearing people complaining about the videos that I play, and it's weird because they say that I play the content as if it's my content, which is not true. Because when I play Rashad Jamal, I actually put it in the title, Rashad Jamal Teaches. When I play Nilly Fuller, and I'm not talking, I'm just playing it because I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm learning right with y'all, I say Nilly Fuller Teaches. So I don't understand how people interpret me saying that somebody else is teaching is saying that I'm the one that's teaching. I'm not teaching a goddamn thing. If I put up a video or a lecture of Rashad Jamal and I put in the title Rashad Jamal Teaching, how in the fuck is that me pretending to be a teacher? I don't understand that. You know, I don't have a lot of scholarship. I learn what I learn as I go. I don't never get up here and try to act like I'm no intellectual juggernaut. If that's the way you perceive me, then that's just your perception of who I am or how I talk. I don't know. I don't try to be nothing that I'm not. I'm always trying to learn. I think that that's the best way to be. Nilly Fuller passed away. I think he was like 93 years old, but to the day he died, he was still learning. That was one of his biggest catchphrases, is he still learning. So yeah, if you get belittled by my intellectuality, then that's a you problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't get up here and try to act like I'm something that I'm not. I don't act like I have a scholarship that I don't. I'm learning. Now, the things that I think I know, when I can talk about and I can monopolize the conversation with, is the things that I think I know a little bit about that I talk. But when I don't know something and somebody else is talking, I'm learning. I don't give a fuck about all that. It could be from anybody. You could learn something from a damn dummy. So a lot of the times I'm listening and I'm learning. I'm not, so if I come across as some kind of motherfucking egotistical maniac or whatever, that's on you. That's your perception. I'm just up here doing my motherfucking thing. You feel me? With that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. I got a bunch of editing to do. I gotta edit. That's like the biggest part that I gotta get back to, that I got back to, that which originally gave me my initial success on YouTube and different places, was editing and putting my content together. But that is the hard part. That's the tedious activities, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, this shit is, motherfuckers, all y'all people do is see the finished product, and y'all be thinking, oh, this is easy, I can do that. It's a lot of work that go into this shit. That's the thing when motherfuckers don't understand. Motherfuckers want to hate on me. I put in a lot of work to be in the position that I've been in on social media. That being said, I'm out. Hit that thumbs up, share this video because I'm leaving this up. Everything is left up now. So it is what it is. Shout out to Boss Blake, man. I'm looking forward to working with everybody now, man. I got new possibilities back on the team. I need to be fucking with Phil the Advice Show, everybody. So I'm looking to network with everybody. We're doing positive content now. None of the riffraff from the past. It is what it is. Everybody got to grow, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it was my time to grow, and it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to linking up with everybody. Shout out to Chaos. I heard Chaos is doing a new podcast. He got coming out as well. I'm looking forward to be jumping on his shit and looking forward to him jumping on my shit. And we just do our motherfucking thing, man. Other than that, I'm out. Share this fucking video. Hit that thumbs up.